If you're looking to outspend your competition on new customer acquisition and you want to do it more profitably with higher AOV and higher conversion rates to scale in 2025, then you need cold traffic optimized funnels. We have an offer running right now. If you click on the first link in the description, we will build your advertorial and listicle funnels for your brand. And we'll use the same system that we've used with all of our clients to decrease their customer acquisition costs by 55% in the first 90 days. So click in the first link in the description. Let's get to the video. In today's video, I want to show you how you can add hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue by split testing your funnels. And obviously the main topic of my channel is around CRO and split testing. And I've done a lot of videos auditing product pages, collection pages, menus, carts, checkout pages if you're on Plus, but the concepts around split testing for funnels are a little bit different. Obviously, the goal remains the same, which is incrementally making changes that are improving your revenue, improving your profit margins, improving your metrics overall. But the way you're going to do it on cold traffic optimized funnels like this example here that I'm using from PetLab is a little bit different. So we're going to start by using this funnel that I've taken from PetLab just as an example. And we're going to look at what they're doing here. So this is a two-step funnel. They have an advertorial that gets all of the traffic directly from meta ads. And then if you click on the many call to actions that are here on the advertorial, it gets redirected to an offer, a specific offer page. As you can note here from the menu bar, this is not their main store. This is not the main store where they send all of the traffic goes, and the one that's listed when you search for PetLab Co on Google. This is a separate domain where they're sending traffic specifically for this offer right here, because these are the two main important points when split testing a funnel. The first one being the angle, which is what the advertorial is doing here. So the first one being the angle being the absolutely most important point in cold traffic optimized funnel, and the second one being the offer. Now, this obviously can be split in many different steps. In this case, we have a two-step, which is very easy, but it can be 3-4 steps if you add in post-purchase funnels and stuff like that. But we're going to keep it easy and just have a two-step funnel here. First thing first, I want to handle a question that I've been getting a lot from people and from brands that are kind of want to start obviously building their funnels and sending traffic to cold traffic optimized funnel to increase their profit margins, increase their conversion rate, their AOV, and make sure they're getting more out of their ad spend. First question I get a lot is, out of these brands and like the brands that are most heavily doing direct response funnels and sending their traffic to these funnels, have these funnels here separated from their main store, in the sense that if you go and look at these funnels right here under the PetLab Co domain, you'll see that they are under a subdomain, which in this case is like campaigns.petlabco.com. And I get a lot of the question of, does it make any difference to have them on a subdomain? Do we need to also have them on a subdomain or separated from the main store? The answer is no. The only reason you would do this is to kind of have a clear separation between the two, but it doesn't really impact performance at all, or how customers perceive the funnel, or like anything at all. It doesn't impact that at all. It's just to have kind of a more clear mental separation between the two, because you know, okay, all of the pages that are under the campaign subdomain are cold traffic, for ads, for traffic directly, and they're not too confused with the main store. And it's also kind of a little bit easier if you're using custom tracking software. If you're using custom software that you want to use only on your subdomain, you can connect only the subdomain to that, to those softwares, and leave the main store alone. But yeah, it's just a matter of having a kind of a mental separation to make everything tidier and simpler. But yeah, it doesn't make any difference from a pure performance perspective. So that's the first question I want to get out of video, because it's one I get a lot. But yeah, let's go back to what we were mentioning here. So the angle and the offer, advertorial handling the angle and the education around the angle, and exposing the angle, making sure it's relatable to the cold traffic, and then sending that part of the cold traffic that's been warmed up with the copy on the advertorial to a specific offer page that's only showcased to this cold traffic here. So let's start from the first point. The first point is the angle. So the most important thing you're going to want to split test, and the overarching kind of most important point of cold traffic funnels, is the angle. Now, how do you split test an angle? An angle is the overarching point you're going to base your copy on. It's a specific problem or solution or pain point, or something about your product, or what your product solves, or the problem your product solves, that you can package in a narrative or in a story, which in this case is 3 weird signs of poor gut health and how to how to help with this breakthrough too. So they're angling this around poor health, and the 3 signs you need to look out for in your log that signals poor health and how you can solve them. So this is a problem unaware angle, because 3-word signs, traffic reading this do not know these 3-word signs, so they're going to read about them here. They're going to get educated about them, which is the goal of the pre-lender here, in this case the advertorial, for the angle. But yeah, the main overarching thing is going to be testing the angle. Now, to test the angle, it's not going to be similar to what you usually do when you split test product pages or collection pages. What we do when you split test those types of pages for our clients is, for example, for our clients on Shopify, we use Intelligems, which is a split testing tool on Shopify to go in and split test things, custom develop things and split test them on your pages directly. So for example, on your product page, split testing a buy box versus kind of more optimized buy box where you showcase the offer better. When you're going to split test angles, you're going to have 2 different pages with different copy and different stuff like that. The thing we've seen work the best in this case to split test the angle is to kind of separate them at the ad level. So have 2 campaigns, you can duplicate the same campaign for both, and then sending traffic from the 2 campaigns to 2 different URLs, which is will be like kind of the same advertorial. You can use the same layout for both. So what we do is that we build the first layout for an advertorial, and then we kind of duplicate it with as many angles we want to test and as many different copy things we want to test. So that's going to be the best way to test your angles. So different URLs, duplicated campaigns, send traffic directly to them from the ad level. We've tried split testing with split URLs, which is a thing that a lot of all split testing tools offer, to just split the traffic at the URL. So you're going to, from your meta campaign, you're going to send traffic all to the same URL, and then the split testing tool will handle splitting the traffic between of these URLs. What we've seen is that it kind of it hurts performance, not significantly, but we've seen it perform consistently worse than just duplicating campaigns and sending traffic to different URLs to test the angle specifically. So that's one thing to keep in mind there. You can still use split URL. It doesn't completely kill performance, but we've seen it perform consistently worse than just duplicating your campaigns and sending traffic to the different URLs. Now, once you've taken care of the angle, as I've mentioned, the most important part of it, there are 4 main important things you're going to test inside the advertorial itself. And at this step, you can actually use Intelligems or any other split testing tool you want to use to test inside the funnel. So outside the funnel for the angle, it's better to test at the ad level. Inside the funnel, inside the page, it's best to use a split testing tool, obviously. So 4 main most important things are the headline being number 1, the lead, which is kind of the subheadline, or also here the call out for the target customer or the target persona you're selling the product or service or solution to. 3, the above the fold image. As you can see, the 3 most important things are obviously above the fold. The things that the traffic sees immediately are the 3 most important ones, and these are in order of priority. First, the headline; second, the lead; third, the above the fold image; and 4th, the call to action and how you're transitioning your traffic from the advertorial or the listicle, the pre-lender you're using to educate the traffic in this case, to the actual offer where you actually focus on selling the offer, the traffic, which is here number 4, this kind of buy box call to action section right here, where they showcase the offer and then have a call to action for the offer page. So these are the 4 most important things to focus on when split testing an advertorial. All advertorials and pre-lender pages. All other things, obviously, you can split test them, you can kind of optimize them, you can kind of change them and see what works the best, but you're going to get diminishing returns from them. The 4 most important main ones, the one that actually matter the most, and the one that's going to give you the best improvements in your metrics if you do it right, obviously, is headline, lead, above the fold image, or animation can also be a GIF. They do perform really well if done well, and in this case with AI, with Video Tree, for example, you can build really good ones in with no expense and a really low amount of time. And then, as I've mentioned, 4th is the buy box or the call to action. So what you're going to do here is that for every angle, you're going to have a number of headlines. Obviously, that's the first step. With those number of headlines you have to test, you're going to have a number of leads to test with them. And then for the above the fold image or animation. You can test a lot of different things. You can test showcasing, for example, the product in action. You can test having an animation that shows how the solution acts, how the mechanism acts to solve the problem. You can test having, as you can see here, social proof or kind of authority from magazines or newspapers, news media, there to give you kind of social proof and add social proof and authority. You can do a lot of different things, but you have to think of it kind of like obviously as a funnel that goes down. Most important thing being the angle, then headline, lead, above the fold image, and then the buy box or how you send traffic to your offer. Now, let's go to the second part of actually what matters when split testing your cold traffic funnels, which is the offer. Obviously, offer, doing a lot of work here, and we need to make sure that we have a cold traffic optimized offer, an offer that entices cold traffic people that have never heard about your brand, don't know anything about your product or your mechanism, have just been educated by it through your advertorial, through your listicle, to your pre-landing page, and now are being faced off with a decision to make if they're going to purchase or not. And one thing you can do to make your offer more appealing before even showing it is talking about it, handling objections. This is what advertorials, listicles, and pre-landing pages are good at doing. Use them to handle objections, like preemptively handle objections, answer any questions, any doubts that cold traffic might have about your mechanism, about your solution, about what you're proposing them, and then warming them up to what's going to come in terms of the offer. And PetLabCo does that really well in this section here, towards the bottom part of the advertorial. So they're mentioning here, starting to mention plus free shipping and a free gift. They mentioned the free gift here again. They mentioned complete control over your subscription. People get scared of subscriptions, of the recurring charges. So they're mentioning they can pause, skip, can sell subscriptions, stuff like that, and it's super easy. So you use your educational page, your pre-ender page, to educate on the mechanism and warm them up to the offer, and then the offer page, you just go straight in and use it to sell the product, sell your mechanism to cold traffic. And here, as you can see, this is a really good, really well structured offer, a cold traffic optimized offer. They're not just slamming the product there and just showcasing the price and just telling you to buy and add to cart and go to checkout. They're actually giving you a reason to buy. They're giving you like a way to justify your purchase, a way that you can say, okay, I made a good purchase there. I got a deal out of this. So what they're doing for that is 40% off if you go for the subscription, and you get also free dog treats. And as you can see here from the offer, they're heavily skewed towards MRR, towards subscription. You can handle this in many different ways depending on what is that you're selling, your product, your pricing, and stuff like that. PetLabCo wants to strongly go for subscriptions and for MRR. So they're giving you all of these benefits if you go for the subscription. So this is kind of how you have to think about testing angles and offer. Now, obviously here, what happens when you get the gist of it and you start building up more angles, you start building up more funnels, is that you can start mixing and matching. You can find your evergreen funnel, the angle that always works with an offer that also always works, and then you can start expanding from that. So you can, for example, this advertorial here, let's say this funnel that they're running, this right here. So the first step and the second step is sprinting for them. What they do to try and find even more improvements or try and find something else that also works and also performs really well is that they take this angle. They don't change anything about the first step. So they take this full page completely how it is right now. They just copy and paste it in another funnel, and then they match a different offer to it and see how it performs. They haven't changed the first step. They changed the second step, so they can consider it a split test where they change one variable and see what happens, and if metrics improve or decrease or stuff like that. So this is how you need to think about split testing your funnel. You need to do it step by step, slowly. You need to test one thing at a time. You need to single out the changes to make sure you know if it's the change that's actually making the metrics go up or down. You need to do it one thing at a time. And the good thing about this is once you get in the cycle of doing it continuously, because always, as I say, split testing is something that you start and you never stop. You're always chasing that improvement. You're always chasing that next improvement in your metrics. Once you do it step by step and you do it the right way, you find out that you have a whole lot of angles, a whole lot of different offers, a whole lot of different things you can expose to your cold traffic. You can send your traffic from Meta, Google, native too, and it's going to resonate and work with your customer persona. Because a lot of brands, what they do and where they get stuck with when they are trying to scale is that they found something that works, they found an offer that works, they found something that works, and they keep trying to hammering it down just with that one single thing that's working, and they don't think that something else might work, a new angle, a better copy, a better headline, a better offer. It's going to work, so they are stuck there and they can scale for that reason. But once you do split testing right and you actually split test your funnel the right way, you'll find out there are different angles, different offers, and if you mix and match them, you test out with your funnels, you test out with your headlines, with your leads, with your angles, with your offers, you'll find out there's a lot of things that can actually work and convert your customer persona better with higher AOV and with higher profit margins.